Thank you, Spike. I thought you were going to embarrass me like you usually do, and I'm very grateful you did not. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. I have to tell you, I'm a little nervous, so please just endure me. Spike, thank you for seeing something special in me. Because when I first met you, I cursed your ass out.
True story.
And you have literally changed the course of my life. You gave me my start. So this means so much that you're presenting this award to me. I love you, even though I like your wife a little bit better. And I really do treasure our friendship over these years. You mean a lot to me. I love you. Thank you to Variety for this very, very special honor. To my fellow nominees, honorees, excuse me, Freudian. I love the choices that Variety has made because you all are just a bunch of badass women. And I want to thank my management, especially Tart Canafani here, to my agents, Stephen Lamada and Gary Gersh, to Vision PR, Best Representation in Town, Leslie Sloan and Jamie. You all have made a very big difference in my career. And most importantly, to my husband, my best friend, my best supporter. I love you. I couldn't have done it without you. My career has actually gotten better from the day I met you. To my sister Carmen, who runs lines with me and is always there when I feel lonely, when I'm away from home. She'll pick up the phone at 2 in the morning. To my crazy cousin Sixto, I love you even though you're a pain in my ass. And to all my friends, Anna Strout, thank you for being here today. All of you, your belief in me means everything. And I love that this event is in New York, not only because I really hate to travel, and not only because it's the day of the indictment, but because this Brooklyn girl loves her city. And I remember September 11th. And that's why I'm so happy to honor and highlight the good work of Heart 9/11. It is the first responders, FDNY, NYPD, PAPD, and the New York City building trades that bonded together in the aftermath of September 11th. I made a partnership with them with my good friend Ramon Rodriguez on Will Trent, holla. When Hurricane Maria hit our island, they were already down on the ground helping the folks out. And they rebuilt over 500 roofs in just a couple of weeks, and it was amazing work, so thank you for that. So when we talk about female empowerment, we must talk about true feminism, which to me, it really bothers me when everyone doesn't really talk about the true meaning. It's just equality. Not just between men and women, but also between women from different socioeconomic, gender identities, and ethnic backgrounds. This industry, just like most, is so hard for women, but especially for women of color, different gender identities and sexual orientation, which brings me to my theme for my speech today. Representation and inclusion. Yes, representation matters, yes. But without inclusion for all, the needle of progress will continue to move way too slowly. The feminist movement has offered women across the globe so much. And the most hopeful thing about the movement to me is that it has allowed itself to continue to evolve and grow from their mistakes, from their triumphs, through various waves. Most people say, oh my God, did you just say mistakes? Mistakes were made. That's how you grow. In the 19th century, the first wave of feminism, women band together, winning the right to vote. A victory for sure. However, the National American Women's Suffrage Association prevented Black women from attending their conventions, even though they were an important part of the movement. Black women often had to march separately from white women in the suffrage parades. The second wave, during the 1960s, with the women's liberation movement, focused on equality in the workplace, and gains were made. This time, white, Black, and brown women marched and fought together. Yet despite activists like Gloria Steinem and the iconic Dolores Huertas with her Si Se Puede campaign, women of color and of lower socioeconomic means did not benefit in the workplace in the same way. To date, these two groups still are paid less. The 90s brought us the third wave, and even bigger change came, concentrating primarily on individuality, autonomy, and the intersectionality between race, gender, affecting economic inequality, discrimination across social identities, along with the emergence of trans feminism. Yet Hollywood, for some ungodly reason, still struggles to find enough meaningful space for not only women, but for women who are marginalized on account of their race and gender identity. This needs to stop. The fourth wave, of course, brought us #MeToo. But when conversations are had, female activists constantly have to remind folks in the media that a woman of color, Tarana Burke, actually started the movement. Now, please don't misconstrue my intentions. All the trials and tribulations and successes by women who risk their lives and their livelihood have changed the world for the better, and I wholeheartedly applaud the efforts of the women's movement, especially to move with the times and to change and to look within ourselves and say we can do better. I just ask folks to consider that we all can do better. The onus to do better is not solely on women. Every single human being on this planet can participate. The term lean in has taken on new meaning since it was brought into the feminist zeitgeist. Today we know it as the act of actively accepting challenges and seeking more responsibility, especially in order to progress in your career. I've practiced this all my life. I didn't need a term. And I have to say that it's been more powerful in my life and in my career when it's not just a singular effort. I've been fortunate to have sustained 35 years. Dang, I'm old. I still look good though, darling. Okay. Thank you, Spanx. I've been fortunate 35 years in this industry, and I didn't do it on my own. In the beginning, despite the worldwide success of Do the Right Thing, I could not get a freaking job. It was difficult for me to get work. 2 years went by, in fact. But you know what? In the infamous words of Alicia Keys, this girl was on fire and she was not trying to give up. When I met Jennifer Grey on my second film, I finally got work from an ad from Backstage magazine, of all things. We clicked. Mutual respect was expressed instantly. She asked why I hadn't done anything since Spike's groundbreaking film. I told her, well, you know what, honey? Whether you know it or not, it's difficult for women who look and sound like me. She simply immediately made a call to her agent, and I was instantly represented and seen on a whole different level, privy to opportunities that were difficult for Puerto Rican girls from Brooklyn. Yes, give it up. This is what I mean about representation and inclusion. She allowed me to be included in the elite company of Hollywood. Things got easier for me, but the struggle was and still very real for my fellow Latinas. I co-founded a charity that serviced Title I schools for over 27 years. And my motto for the organization is, what separates an underprivileged child from a privileged child is opportunity. Give that child an opportunity, and I promise you they will rise to the occasion each and every time. And I am living proof of that. And thank goodness I still have great representation with my current team. Yet I know at times for them, when they make those calls, when they sit down at lunches and dinners and after work drinks, it is a struggle for them. They never tell me that it's a struggle, but I know it is. But they still fight for me. I also would like to acknowledge the Latino political community. They've also been a part of my career. They've always welcomed me from day one. My mentor, God rest his soul, Dennis De Leon, AIDS activist and former New York City Human Rights Commissioner, advocated on my behalf to be appointed to the former President Obama's Presidential Advisory Council on HIV and AIDS. Without his recommendation, without his support, I would have not been included in that room, despite my many years of AIDS activism. Even Variety has played a part. I was interviewed by Clayton Davis, a Latino, senior awards editor for the magazine. He asked me, when was the last time I attended the Oscars since my nomination in 1993. He was shocked to learn that I had not been invited back since then. The story went viral. And Sean Finney of the Academy called my reps immediately, and he said, oh no, honey, this needs to change. And changed it did. And I found myself back on the Oscar stage, beaming with pride and joy. So you see, it can happen. Yes, we have a long freaking way to go, but I have hope. I have hope that the needle will continue to move forward at a faster pace, please, when we all join in the fight. For the women, especially my Latinas in the room, I leave you with 4 thoughts. Let's stick together. Let's have each other's back. Let's put away the pettiness and the fighting and the backbiting. It's a waste of time. We have too much work to do. Secondly, it's not easy, but if being in the arts is truly what you love, don't let anyone or anything stand in the way. Thirdly, it takes a village, so everyone must do their part. And lastly, I would like to share a piece of advice to the up-and-coming Latinas who are struggling in this industry. And I do hear about it every time I bump into one. This piece of advice that was given to me by my dear friend who once ran the public theater, Tony Award-winning George C. Wolfe. When he saw me terrified in the wings at the opening of my first play at the public theater, as I stood there, scared to death, shaking in my boots, He told me, and I quote, "Breathe, then push through your fears and step into your greatness. Your greatness is right in front of you, but only you have the power to make that move. You have to make that first step." Thank you, Variety, once again for this honor and your dedication to uplifting women and being a force for recognition and inclusion. And women, continue to breathe and shine bright and keep stepping into the greatest version of all you are destined to be. Thank you.